Annie Funk.
And how did you come to become on the Titanic? How did you go?
I was going on a mission for missionary services.
You were on a mission?
Yes, for missionary services.
With the priest?
That's right.
I see. And how many, did you get saved?
Sadly, no, I did not.
You died? And did you have a claim to fame before you got on the ship? Did you save a lot of souls?
Yes, I did.
You did?
That would be my claim to fame.
And where were you born?
London.
In London?
Because I recommend the name.
What year?
1882.
1882? That's a pretty good guess, I guess.
Yeah, where did you get that?
It was rumored that Sir Cosmo and Lady Duff Gordon, I don't know if we have a Lady Duff Gordon here.
We do. That is Miss Lady Duff Gordon. She is a couturier.
Well, you know what you did, Lady Duff?
Yes.
You bribed the two able seamen.
I went down a happy man!
5 firemen to take them and their 3 companions off the ship. This rumor was later proven false. J. Bruce Ismay, managing director of the White Star Line, left on lifeboat collapsible sea, and was criticized by both the American and British inquiries for not going down with the ship. Other passengers, including Father Thomas Biles, which is here tonight, and Margaret Brown, which was the Margaret Brown, the unsinkable Margaret Brown.
Molly Brown.
Molly Brown. Don't call me Molly. I'm Margaret.
Which, on a side note, you know, this has been a big function, and Molly's, you know, she's organized a lot here.
To a point where he's lost his voice.
And finally, she was forced into a boat.
Did she go down with the captain?
I'll let him down.
With her on. Meanwhile,
Not with the captain.
she survived, Biles did not. As the ship's tilt became more apparent, people started to become nervous. I think I would have been nervous a hell of a lot sooner. And some lifeboats began leaving with more passengers. Women and children first remained the imperative for loading the boats. The order women and children first was given by Captain Smith. It was intended that women and children be loaded into lifeboats first, and any remaining positions, if available, be allocated to men. In certain circumstances, particularly in the lifeboats overseen by Second Officer Lightoller, this order was translated as women and children only. It should also be noted that only half of the 3rd class women perished, even though nearly all the women of 1st and 2nd class survived. Jeez. You know that.
What a spinster, yeah.
Bottom of the bridge rail.
That's only yours.
All the lifeboats saved for the awkwardly located collapsibles have been lowered. Collapsible B with 3 seats to spare was the last lifeboat to be lowered. The total number of vacancies was 466.
You want a cigarette?
Freezer.
Well, you talk a lot.
So anyways, what I wanted to show you here, guys, was that this was 2 o'clock, 2:05. These people that were reluctant to leave, in 20 minutes, the ship sinks.
Is that it? Hey, you're going down. No, you're not.
I'm going down.
Somebody went down. Oops.
I'm Daniel Coxon. I'm a dealer of automobiles, fine automobiles. And we have a number of them. We had a number of them down on the deck. They've since been flooded. I can't get to them now. So they're kind of coming apart and that sort of thing. I'm in hopes that I catch one of these lifeboats, but I thought I'd come and listen to a little music for a minute.
And do you actually go down with the ship, sir?
Yes, I do.
You don't make it?
I don't survive.
That's too bad.
I'll be missed, and I'll miss the cars.
Yes, the cars will be what I miss.
That's right. So, thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome.
Miss Edith Louise Rosenbaum, I'm a journalist.
You're a journalist. And what paper do you, go ahead,
I
sir.
don't know, pick one.
Pick one. And do you survive?
I do. First class.
And when you get to New York, you go with the New York Times or something?
Yes, and I write a story about the sinking.
You do? And is that still around, that story? Is it something that you can read?
Making up total BS.
But you do know your name. It's Edith.
I only know it if I look at my name tag.
Very good.
Certainly, Captain.
Well, thank you for this interview. You're fabulous.
Okay, I am Lucille Hope Carter.
And did you survive?
Yes, but I'm planning to do a dramatic death.
You're planning to do what?
A dramatic death, so I'm planning not to survive. I'm just not sure yet.
You're going to do a dramatic dance tonight?
Yeah, well, a dramatic dance and a dramatic death. I've already done dancing with
I see. And is that part of your character, or you just want to do that extra?
I just want to do that.
Okay, that's perfect. I can't wait.
I see her. She was
Bye-bye.
This is the captain's doctor again.
He's got herpes.
Hey, it is 15 minutes after 2 o'clock. At this point, Titanic's bronze propellers began to rise above the waterline in front of lifeboat number 2. This was just off the stern. 10 minutes before, water was beginning to flood the forward boat deck by entering through the crew hatches on the bridge. Quiet! At this time, people started listening, stopped talking, so I'm not doing this for nothing. And people were dying.
Oh my God, they're dying.
Captain Smith released wireless operators Harold Bride and Jack Phillips from their duties. Smith then quietly wandered off into the bridge, making no attempt to save himself. Bride went to their adjoining quarters. There's nobody downstairs. They're all dead. They're all dead.
Keep going.
Bride grabbed the firemen, and then the three of them wrestled around in the small room for a few seconds. At one point, Bride grabbed the man by the waist, while Phillips punched him until he finally fell to the floor, unconscious.
Sad but nice.
Seeing water now entering the room, Phillips and Bride grabbed their caps and dashed out on deck, where Bride helped with collapsible B and Phillips ran aft. The water spread, and when the steam came at the second funnel at 2:15 a.m., the stern started to rise. The last two lifeboats floated right off the deck as the icy Atlantic reached them. Collapsible A half filled with water, and collapsible B upside down with at least 30 men clinging to it. Shortly afterwards, the forward expansion joint, located aft of the first funnel, was pulled apart by the weight of the rising stern. This placed unbearable strain on two of the funnel's cable strays, which were anchored to the boat deck aft of the joint. The cable snapped and the funnel fell forward, crushing part of the starboard bridge wing. On deck, people scrambled towards the stern or jumped overboard in hopes of reaching a lifeboat.
Pleasure.
Father Biles spent his final moments alive reciting the rosary and other prayers, hearing confessions and giving absolutions to the dozens of people who huddled around them.
I love it.
The ship's stern rose to about 45 until 70 degrees, until 2:18, when the electrical system failed and the lights, which had burned brightly throughout the whole time, went out permanently. The Titanic's second funnel then broke off and fell into water.
At approximately 2:18, a few seconds after all electrical power failed on the ship, the superstructure underneath the third funnel completely split, splitting Titanic in half and crushing hundreds of people. The split was between the third and fourth funnels near the aft expansion joint, and the bow section went completely under. The third funnel collapsed shortly after the breakup as the bow sank, and the fourth funnel fell soon after as the stern sank. The stern section was pulled up again by the sinking bow and the heavy engines. The stern reached a high angle and surfaced from the water. The stern was reported to have tipped far on its port side as it began to sink, even turning around on the spot. Some reported cries from the lifeboats that the ship had returned, shouting, "Look, the men are saved." However, after a few moments, the stern section also slid under the icy waters of the North Atlantic, 2 hours and 40 minutes after she hit the iceberg. So the pilot saw him. The pilot saw him, taking the glasses off again, small thing. The Lord is my pilot. I shall not drift. He guides me across the dark waters. He steers me in deep channels. He keeps my log. He pilots me by the star of holiness for his name's sake. Yea, though I shall mid the fenders and tempests of life and death, I shall not dread into danger, for he is near me. His loving care shelter me. He prepares a harbor before me in the homeland of eternity. He anoints the waves with oil. My ship rides calmly.
Do you want me to read?
I'm no better. He anoints the waves with oil. My ship rides calmly. Surely sunlight and starlight shall favor me on my voyages, and I will rest in port of our Lord. I will rest in the port of our Lord forever, and at the end of my journeys. Jesus calms the storm. And it... Okay. Jesus calms the storm.
Thank you.